What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Zach. This is your mental health check in. How's your mindset? Be 100% honest. Please and thank you. Again, if there's something on your mind that's bothering you, that's just weighing on your mind, that's really bothering you, or you can't get off your mind, talk to me. Talk to someone. Remember, there's so many people out there right now who go through mental health problems and they are no longer here now because they went through depression. And trust me, if you're going through depression and it goes too long, depression can take over. And that's not cool. So if you're going through it, talk to somebody. Talk to your doctor. Talk to your family, doctor about it and let them know, hey, I'm going through depression. What can we do? Because, I went through it, like I said, for 2 months. About 2 months a while back. And, again, I said something to my doctor. And again, also when I said something to my doctor, they ended up putting me on something. So, and again, since they've done that, it's helped big time. So what I'm saying to you is this: if you feel like you're in that depression, go see your doctor, please. Let them know what's going on. Also, if you're nervous about going to your doctor, on your own, take a family, member, or take, a friend. Take someone that you can trust. Take your wife if you're married. Take your girlfriend if you have a girlfriend. Take someone with you is what I'm trying to say. That's the point I'm trying to make. Because, in those kind of times, yes, things can be scary. That's just nothing to mess around with. Because, again, those kind of things are more scary than what a lot of people realize. And, unfortunately, some people, a lot of people do realize it, but they just don't give a crap. And it's sad to say it like that, but again, there's a lot of people that they know that they're putting you through things, but they just don't give a crap. I've seen it happen, and I've had it happen to me. But I'm better. I'm all better from that now. And again, there's a lot of people. I say this. There's a lot of people like I've talked about multiple times with disabilities. It seems like when you talk to somebody with a disability, take somebody with a disability versus somebody with take somebody with a physical disability, like somebody with a walker or a walking cane, crutches, or even a wheelchair. And take that person that's, in a wheelchair, talking to somebody that's standing. It just seems like it goes in one ear right out the other. But when you're both standing, it just like it sticks. I guess that's the best way to say it. So, but keep this in mind. No matter a person's disability, whether a person is walking, or sitting down, or, walk with a walker, or crutches, or a walking cane, or whatever, or even, walking, that also has braces on. And that goes for everybody, that goes for the billions and billions and billions of people out there, trillions of people out there. Just because someone has a walking cane, or a walker, or crutches, or even a wheelchair, or even in the fact of, wear, some type of brace, the braces on their legs, or maybe they wear a back brace, for example, to keep their back straight. Maybe they have that disability where they gotta, that's something that they gotta have to keep their back straight. Or, it could be because of an accident. Maybe they had a bad wreck or something that caused that. But let me emphasize this again. Every person, whether they have a physical disability, one that, like a disability that can actually be seen, meaning you can see that person with a walker, or you can see that person with crutches, or you can see that person with a walking cane, or even see that person with a wheelchair. Let me remind you, their mental health is just like yours, a person walking. And I know sometimes it might be difficult to, to understand. But you got to remember, what you see is on the outside, that's just the looks. But look at a person's heart, and you'll see that a person is 100% human, with a 100% different, but also 100% true story. They're human just like you. 100% human. And I said it just like you because I'm talking to, you that are walking. They're just like you people. We're all just like everyone else. Whether you're walking or you're not. Maybe you are someone that has or that is a amputee. Maybe you have a amputee of a left or right leg, or maybe an amputee of an arm or hand. That could be. Guess what? You're still 100% human. 100% different. Also 100% true story about you. And no matter how a person looks, whether they're walking on their own, walking with a walker, walking with crutches, walking with a walking cane, or even in a wheelchair, each individual that, like I just named, the things I just named, each individual deserves to be treated equally, just the same as everyone else. And a lot of people don't get that or don't understand that. You know, it's just like I told you, you know, one thing I've had trouble with my whole life is probably for the last 18, almost 19 years, trying to do math med, is, you know, the dating and relationships. Which I've never had, you know, I've never done because so many people want to be judgmental. Because why? Oh, he's got a wheelchair. Guess what? Yeah, I do have a wheelchair. You're right. But why? Yes, born with level 1 spina bifida. Also true. 100% true. But that's just because of my balance only. That's all. So again, with that said, keep going. Keep being you and let nothing or no one hold you back. I'm proud of you. And yes, again, I am making this a working, paying job because this is something, again, that I love doing. I love being able to motivate, inspire, and try to help as many people as possible through anything, everything that you go through. Even if it's a situation or situations that I've never been through, guess what? Even if those situations that I've never been through, still, I'm one of those that will put that situation or situations in my mind and try to see your situations the way that you see your situations and give you my advice on how I would overcome this situation or situations. Because like I said, there's many people out there right now that are not here because they went through depression. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people not here right now. And yes, I know some people personally. And it sucks. You know, it sucks big time. You know, some people that passed away from that, from that depression. You know, I haven't talked to you in a while, but that don't mean that I don't care. You know, it still hurts when you lose somebody like that. You know, over something that, that you could have helped. You know, and that's what a lot of people don't understand as well. You know, you see somebody going through depression or, those rough times, and so many people just shrug it off their shoulders like, that's not me, so though it's not me, they'll get through it. And a lot of times, like I said, because that depression or whatever that situation was, that person's not here right now. You know, a lot of people hear your situations and they just, shrug it, just shrug off their shoulders like, that wasn't me in that situation, so that wasn't me, so no big deal, And that's not the case. Put yourself in that person's in that person's shoes. Put yourself in that person's shoes and try to see things how they see it. Because I guarantee you'll realize then when you look at something through another person's eyes. In other words, you try to see a person's situation or situations the way they see it, and that's going to change your mindset. It's going to change your outlook on that situation or situations. So just because somebody's walking doesn't mean diddly squat. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Like I said, I'll be 37 on October 15th, which is 8 days away, and like 7 or 8 days away, and that's some of the things that I told you are exactly what I've been through. Is it right? No, it's not. Not right at all. But that's what you get for sitting down. Like I said, I am making this a working paying job because I love to help people, get through anything that you go through or have been through. It's like I said, the past will and does always sneak up. And sometimes, on some of us, it sneaks up a lot more than a lot realize. And yes, if you heard a dog howling, that would be it. Harmonized dog. She always howls out the dang door. But again, keep being you. And let nothing or no one ever hold you back. Again, also, no matter what you go through, you're going to get through. And, with that said, tell me, don't just, I always say at the end of every YouTube video, if there's something that you would like to hear, also that would help you, let me know. And a lot of times I see people just stay silent. And again, I see a lot of people still comment, yes. But again, I saw a lot of people, I saw a lot of silence. And the thing of it is, I know there's people out there that's going through a ton. And they're still silent. But with that said, don't be silent. If you're going through something, or something's on your mind, tell me. Let's talk about it. We'll get through it. Might take a while to get through. But as I've said before, I'm in it for the long haul. We're coming up on 4 years. Wow. 4 years on March 5th, 2026. 4 years here on YouTube. And I'm loving every single minute of it. Loving every single second. Being able to motivate, inspire, and try to help as many people as possible through anything that you go through or have been through. Because like I said, the past can and does, unfortunately, sneak up on us all. And again, as some of us, or actually a lot of us, it happens to us more than others. So with that said, again, maybe you hear somebody talking about something that happened to them or something that they've been through. Maybe you hear somebody talk about something they've been through, what did it say, 20 years ago. that doesn't mean that they want to forget that. That just means, or that doesn't mean that they don't want to forget that. That means that situation has messed with them. I mean, that's something that they've had a rough time with. So always keep that in mind. Like I said, if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button. Wherever it is on your screen. I know on mine, it's on the right side. So hit that subscribe button. If you will, please comment and let me know what you would like to hear next. My name is Zach. Keep going. Keep being you. Much love, and let's get it.